I am raw dogging this stream today. I have no coffee in my fucking house. It's rough. But we're going to be fine because I'm excited for today. We're going to be listening to Pavement's first record, Slanted and Enchanted, today. No coffee. We're going to be listening to their first album. The reason we're doing this, and this isn't a viewer pick, this is a pick I put on the wheel. Omar had put in, welcome in Omar Beats and Cariosa in the chat, had me listen to their second album, Crooked Rain, that we did like a few weeks ago. And I loved that album so much that I basically was like, dude, I need to hear more. So I was very excited to put on and start really deep diving into Pavement. They had a sound that I personally have always really liked, which is the sound of people playing music together that didn't need to be amazingly perfected in a studio. It was raw, it was messy, but it was also beautiful in a lot of ways that I like shoegaze, which no one would ever say Pavement is a shoegaze band, but they absolutely take a lot of cues from a lot of the like no wave bands and noise rock bands that I admire, like Sonic Youth. And in the 90s, I think they were just one of those bands that fell between the cracks for me. I never sat and really listened to a ton of Pavement. I've heard a few songs, and I definitely have heard a song or two off of this. Whether or not I would remember them, I have no idea. When I'm looking at the track listing here for Slanted and Enchanted, which came out in 92, has 14 songs running at 39 minutes. The only one that's really jumping out at me is Loretta's Scars. I want to say I've heard that track, and maybe Summer Babe, the first song. But other than that, I don't really have much of a point of reference here for this today. And these came out on Matador Records, and Matador Records in the 90s really put out a lot of really great alternative rock music. So I feel like my voice is croaking like a toad today. So forgive me for how this is sounding. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I had a really good time yesterday on the stream listening to DMX and Faith No More. Beat says, I know I've heard of Pavement, but I don't think I've heard their music. It's definitely, I would say, a little bit of an acquired taste. I know the second album that we listened to that Omar had recommended is what's considered slacker rock, which I would kind of liken to bands, it's not as heavy as bands like Mudhoney and grungy bands, but it definitely has that same sort of unrefined feel that bands like that had. But they use a lot of texture in a way that I love about like genres like slow dive, like not slow dive. I'm sorry, my brain's still trying to recalculate here. Like shoegaze, where the textures become kind of almost like a wall of sound, and there's a lot of rock and blues, but it's more, it again is under the kind of umbrella of more alternative tuning, angular, and I don't even want to say angular, that's probably not a good way to put it, but it's just the chordal progressions and the notes chosen aren't what you would conventionally term as rock. So it creates kind of a very dissonant, but very pleasing sound. So I hope you guys dig this. We're going to jump into this today. I don't have right now a write-up on this album. Let's check it out, because the version we're going to listen to, and I hate this about Apple Music is that Apple Music, with especially with these classic albums from like the 90s, a lot of these bands, because they're still around, go back and remaster, which is cool, a lot of this music, but then on streaming put these versions out, and those become the permanent versions of these albums that are like deluxe editions that have like 3 or 4 discs, and the write-ups are always on those fucking albums. And we're going to go to this. They have this version, Deluxe and Redux, which they have the write-up on. And look at how many tracks are on this thing. Holy fuck, like 48 tracks on this thing. We're not spending the time to listen to 48 tracks of mostly live cuts and demos and stuff like that. 2 hours and 18 minutes. Ain't nobody got time for that. So let's read the write-up they have on the Lux and Redux version of this album. Yeah, you know what? I have a feeling it's because the original version of the album was put out on Apple Music, which used to just be called Music or iTunes long ago, and they just didn't put a write-up on it where everything gets write-ups now. Here's the write-up they have for this album. To understand the role Pavement played in the transition from punk fury to open-endedness, the open-endedness of indie rock, let's go back to a story from singer Stephen Malkmus, his high school band Straw Dogs. Man, I'm having a rough time this morning. This was Stockton, California, 1983. The Dogs are backstage at the Fremont Labor Lodge, getting ready to open for Black Flag. Malkmus is 16. Good student, varsity player, a little willowy. And there's Henry Rollins, penetrating, warrior-like Henry Rollins, pacing back and forth in front of him, squeezing a cue ball. That's punk, Malkmus thought, and I'm not. There's plenty of dissonance on Slanted and Enchanted, brackets, No Life Singed Her, Conduit for Sale, which are a couple tracks that they're referring to having dissonance. But where the noise punk always felt in service of tearing down what had been before and building a world anew, Pavement used it as means for a romantic retreat, like the hiss of the ocean in songs like In the Mouth of a Desert, or muffled whispers under heavy blankets in a song like Perfume-V. You could disappear into those tracks, and it often sounded like Malkmus had boyishly singing. It was boyish. Man, this is written weird. Boyishly voicing his yearnings through streams of words whose imprecision captured the feelings behind him better and more honestly than the precision ever could. Tracks like Trigger Cuts, Lies and Betrayals / Fruit Covered Nails / Electricity and Lust. The album's title, suggested by Malkmus's college friend and late Silver Jews vocalist David Berman, was a riff on a line from Emily Dickinson, whose precious but obscure poetry served as a kind of ancestral altar at which the music could be set. Tell all the truth, but tell it slant. Even in the midst of bands like Nirvana and Sonic Youth, Pavement's conversion of noise into pop, complete with prom-ready ballads like Here and sweet shalalas like Trigger Cut, felt both special and rare, a conversion of post-rock's aversion to the obvious into songs you could put onto mixtapes for a crush. Here, diversions between the intensity of punk and accessibility of classic rock seemed less important. Ditto what it meant to be a heartthrob or an outcast, a jock or a nerd, which Malkmus was arguably both. That the band never seemed like they were trying too hard made them both a sign of their slacker times, but also a welcoming presence after an era of new wave haircuts and cue ball squeezing powerlifters and other supposedly fresh riffs on the same old rock and roll preening. Listen under the feedback. They're writing love letters. So this music is kind of like, it celebrates being imperfect. It sounds at times like they're just kind of making it up as they go, but they're definitely crafted pop songs. And I absolutely loved the album that we sat and listened to. So going into today, I'm actually pretty excited, and it's kind of the perfect album for us to like wake up to. I know some of you aren't just waking up, Omar and Beats for sure. I'm sure you've been up all night. But for me today, this is I'm very excited to get into this. So let's go ahead and let's start listening to this thing, because I feel like I did a really awful job trying to explain what this is. But oh well, you know what? When you're half hour out of waking up, sometimes your brain's not firing. So it is what it is. Let's listen to the first track, Summer Babe, winter version. Already, while obviously the recording isn't as hi-fi as the next album would be, it still holds a lot of that same kind of unrefined nature that album had. The bass sounds great. I wish the guitars were just a little up in the mix, but I love his kind of just, he's singing, but it's also kind of like, yeah, I don't really care kind of singing that I loved on the second record. It seems like your kind of jam. And the lyrics here, this line, where mixing cocktails with a plastic tipped cigar. It just reminds me of those times where, you know, when you're younger and you don't necessarily care about what's going on, and you don't always have the best things around you in order to make like entertainment happen. I had a friend that was indie wrestler, and we would go to film conventions when we were making the movies we had made. And as guests, we would sit at tables and schlep these movies to people. And in the morning, waking up or in between things, this guy had been on the road for so long that he kind of got used to eating gas station food and eating it without utensils and shit like that. And this line in particular just reminds me of like this time we were in this hotel in Cleveland, Ohio, and he had brought just a bunch of cans of like soup and raviolis, because he had just been so used to traveling the road and not stopping and not having a lot of money. So he would stock up on really dirt cheap, you know, dollar fucking cans of Hormel chili and other shit like that. And he had this can of fucking, and I know this is a tangent, but just bear with me. He had this can of fucking raviolis and he ate it with a fucking ballpoint pen. And we looked at him like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, what are you looking at, you bougie motherfucker? We took a picture of it because we couldn't fucking believe it. And I still have that. It's unfortunate my bud isn't with us anymore. But he was a one-of-a-kind dude. And that line just kind of made that pop in my head of just like, well, you know what? I want a fucking drink. I don't have a spoon, but there was a party here. And I guess I'm going to use this used plastic tipped cigar to start to mix my cocktail. Yep. This is a nervous girl, you know, just doing what she needs to do, not conventional, then doesn't fucking care. She's just herself. Love it. What a good memory.
mixing cocktails with a plastic cigar.
I love how the bass is playing lots of chords. Like, you can tell there's a lot of open strings being played on that bass.
My eyes stick to all the shiny roads you wear on the protein delta strip. In an abandoned houseboat, I will wait there. I'll be waiting forever. I'm waiting, 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 waiting. Go!
Those drums have such a dry sound to them. They literally sound like they just set up some mics on a live drum kit and really didn't do a lot of effecting to it, because adding more reverb to the drums probably would, you know, muddy up a mix where the guitars are already kind of super fuzzy and not recorded the best. There's so much going on with the other two instruments in the recording, and they're taking up so much space sonically that these drums that just kind of cut through and almost feel dry work in this kind of recording. This sounds like a basement recording, and I kind of love it.
Minerals, ice deposit daily, drop off the shiny robe. I've got a lot of things I want to sell, but not here, babe.
Fuck, man. Pavement might just be my fucking shit, dude. This is how I felt when we listened to that other album where it just fired up, and this music really takes me back in time. Just for point of reference, I grew up, I went to high school in the early 90s, and all of this just makes me think of that time in life, or just the 90s in general, with alt rock and the way it was, and just hanging out, having music like this on in the background, hanging with buds, not living the best, but living life. You know what I mean? Just having it in the background, smoking some joints, having some smiles, being dickheads. This reminds me of youth. And it's wonderful to sit and listen to this, because it really kind of transports me back in time to the 90s. It really does. Let's listen to the next track. Trigger Cut, Wounded-Kite at 17 seconds. I'm really surprised how dominant the bass is in this. It seems like the bass is really what's providing like the riffs, the rock riffs of this, where the guitar is way more of a noise instrument than anything. It's a very interesting mix.
Lies and betrayals, fruit-covered nails, electricity and lust won't break the door. I've got a heavy coat, it's filled with rocks and sand, and if I lose it, I'll be coming back today. I'll be coming back today. I keep it in my head. No, I'm coming back one day. I've got a system, and I'll be coming back today. Ex-magician, he still knows his tricks.
I fucking love it.
Tricks.
Oh, I fucking love it. That was a great little riff. It went into like a poppy, almost punky kind of riff there. I fucking love it. Man. And then it goes back to this vocal shit that I love about Pavement. Oh man, I love this dude's delivery. It kind of feel, the other album made me feel like it's just a bunch of dudes that walked up to instruments, or like everyone was begging them to play, like, yeah, fine, I guess I'll play.
Are everything to me until it's free. I've got a trigger cut and I can't pull it back. But if I learn how, I'll be coming back today. I've got a message. No, I'm coming back today. I keep it in my head. You will look at me and say, I've got a sister. You just wish I went away.
I love these guitars. Even the shalalas, which usually would be so prominent in pop music, you know, if they're doing shalalas, you want to make sure that they sound heavenly, right? Nope. Just sounds like some guy going, This song's very Sonic Youthy.
I learned the truth of the words. Truth I made for you because it's just as good. If I spit it out before I cheat a ring, I'll rearrange it to
I agree completely, Beats. This is, to me, kind of like the era of Sonic Youth from Goo and Dirty. Those albums where they went to Geffen Records and they were making a real strive for the mainstream, you know, only in the way that Sonic Youth could, right? There's no way you make that music super poppy. It is what it is. But they had made like more concise, straightforward noise rock than, you know, the epic 10-minute long drone pieces that they're kind of known for. I mean, Sonic Youth, for the most part, played a lot of shorter, like, I think a good chunk of their discography, if you like, went back to like Evol, or you went to Sister or anything like that, even Daydream Nation, the songs are usually around like, what, 3 to 4 minutes? And then they would always have that one super drone track on everything. This feels like they took the DNA, at least the guitars and the bass, and had that template and just kind of made it even more, I hate to say refined, in the way that they are making pop tunes here in a way that, you know, Rivers Cuomo would do with Weezer. But it's almost like if you would take Weezer and make them drunk and then toss in Sonic Youth's sensibility for noise. You get a hint, just a hint, because this sounds nothing like either of those two bands. I mean, it sounds like Sonic Youth more than anything, but that voice has hints of Rivers Cuomo in there. I love it. There's also a bit of like fuck you whimsy to just the delivery of these vocals. It's just wonderful, man.
It looks just right today, and I'll be coming back my way. You will look at me and say, but you just wish I went away today.
No sha-la-las. I liked that song even better. My God, there's like 30-second fade out here. One of those things where they really like to riff and they like to jam and they wanted to include it on the fucking record. It's like, let's toss it at the end of this song. Very fucking punk. That sounded very 80s punk. That was a great little punk tune. Holy fuck, that was noisy. That was very Sonic Youth. I don't want to keep saying Sonic Youth over and over and over again, but man, a lot of this sounds just like that. And that song in particular, fuck, I can't help but just this makes me feel like it very much is like a snapshot of the early 90s, that whole disdain for perfection and commercialization of like our culture, and just kind of the fallout of the excess of the 80s and the drugs and everything, in which the youth was kind of just left to try and pick themselves up and figure it out, and a lot of them didn't. And a lot of them were just like, you know what, fuck you, we're all doomed anyway, we're just gonna fucking roll with it. Yeah, cool track. I'm loving this album so far. Shit, that was No Life Singed Her, and we're going on to, I believe we're Oh, that was 3 tracks. All right. In the Mouth of a Desert is the next song. Total post-punk, dude.
Like an oil well when it's underground, out of sight. And if the sight is just a horse sign, can it make enough sense to me? Pretend the table is a trust knot. We'll put our labels down, faith is down. I'll watch them yarn, the twine unravel, and you'll never get it back. It's what I want, it's what I want.
Remember when we were listening to fucking The Dead Milkmen and they had the 2 guys kind of going back and forth? This has a slight feel of that. That was a really poppy verse, wasn't it? Like his vocals, definitely, he's singing hooks here.
What I want, it's what I want, twine comes down. It's what I want, what I want. Don't you know I could make it try, make it try, make it try, make it try. I've been crowned the king of it, and it is all we have, so wait.
This is what I loved about the other Pavement record we listened to, and I can see this is just their shtick, is that they do not give a fuck about imperfections in the recording. They don't care if there are flubs. It's about the overall energy, and the imperfections are kind of part of the sound, right? It's if I had heard this shit in the early 90s when I was recording music and playing music, I would have been so inspired listening to this, because it's the kind of music that I think makes young kids feel like they can do it too. Where you listen to, like, just take for example, I'm wearing a Def Leppard t-shirt today, and while I like stuff like this, I also like super smoothly, finely produced big records too. And a lot of those records felt like they were made on a different planet, like by super rich people that you'd never have the opportunity to like see happen in your own life in any way, right? Where you put on a record like Slanted and Enchanted as a young person starting out with a band and maybe like a 4-track tape recorder, it felt attainable. Right? It felt like, fuck, I don't have to be Def Leppard. I don't have to be these huge bands that are on the radio to make real rad, cool fucking music, right? Music like this is what inspired me and my friends to be in bands, Beat says. Yeah, abso-fucking-lutely, dude. I said this on the last React when we listened to fucking Crooked Rain, is like, man, I really kicked myself for not listening to Pavement earlier in life. This would have been one of my favorite bands, I have a feeling. This is all of this that I've heard so far has just been wonderful, man.
To hear my words and the diamond sharp, I can open it up and it's up and down.
This is exactly what I'm saying when I hear Rivers Cuomo in the vocals. This is like a less refined fucking Weezer. A lot of these fucking vocals, I'm sure that'll piss people off. But there's no doubt there was something in the Kool-Aid and in the air, right? Fucking great. I really love it. And how often do you hear bands where the bass feels like the driving factor for kind of like holding the music down, where in like, just let's take that Weezer reference in general there as an example, like a point counterpoint, where the guitars are kind of like the riff masters and what's driving the backbeat or backbone of that music. The bass seems to be the one that's holding all the riffs, and the guitars just get to be whatever the fuck they want to be. The Breeders, right? And the Pixies, right? There's a lot of Pixies in this too, speaking of the Breeders. So yeah, totally, man. Big time. Now that you said that, and then it made me connect the dots. There's a lot of Pixies in this. Probably more. I should probably say Frank Black as opposed to Rivers Cuomo. There's a lot of Pixies in this. I could say anything. I mean, I loved that fucking song a lot. If I could just get a smidge more fucking guitar in the mix, man. If those guitars could just be pushed a little bit more. Just a little bit more, man. How full that would sound. Love the dryness, like you said earlier. Even the vocals have nothing on them. Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. Well, and that's some of the charm of this. It feels like it's a bunch of dudes with a reel-to-reel 4-track recorder just playing in a rehearsal space or like a garage, right? I fucking love it so much. There's just the distorted guitar that's in the right channel. I just wish it was up a little bit more in the mix. All right, let's go. Where are we at? We're like on track number 5, Conduit for Sale. Totally, dude. This absolutely sounds like a song that would have been in Clerks. There's a lot going. Like, I'm trying to keep up with these, what's going on in the lyrics here. And I don't know about you guys. What I'm gathering is just like the I'm trying is a dude that's like literally trying to pick himself up and move forward and do anything in life while he sees around him all these people that it all seems easy in the midst of the fucking nonsense that we live in day to day. But these lyrics are flying by, dude.
Unable to bear the scandal, Ray philanthropist rents low down scat house and Conduit. Pear Proctor offers said land for a song, but no one wants to sing. In an attempt to retain social privileges, yet mask in his goodwill, he says to the Conduit members, take this rotten old tree and make it bear fruit. Cheers erupted throughout the town settlement. And a tiny man was heard to say, between here and there.
Listen, do you guys hear the ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba?
He says to the Conduit members, take this rotten old tree and make it bear fruit. Cheers erupted throughout the town settlement. And a tiny man was heard to say, between here and there is better than either here or there. I'm trying, 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 I'm
I loved that song. Oh my God. I didn't want to stop it. I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to fucking interrupt it. I just wanted it to keep fucking going. The more I sit and look at this album cover, this song in particular, and all of the songs on this record kind of just make me think of street level shit. Cause this looks like it's artwork that was made on like the side of a building, where you can see the cracks, the weathering that's happened over time, and just graffiti that's just constantly, you know, more and more paint gets put over it as people live and pass it and just exist in the imperfections of that kind of like environment. God damn. This music, like this cover just is so perfect for this fucking album. I love it. Let's go to the next. That one was close to my favorite song. I really like Trigger Cut, but Conduit for Sale, that was a great song. Zurich Is Stained is the next song. I love these songs. Like, again, this is another one of those albums where everything, the longest song looks like 3 minutes and 22 seconds. No, 3 minutes and 52. We had just listened to it. These are all, we got a string of like sub 2 minute songs coming up here. You guys ever listen to that artist, Pedro the Lion? Some of the guitar tones on this one, the really clean guitar tones, kind of remind me of Pedro the Lion a little bit.
Just hold me back or let me run, sha-la-la-la. So what does it mean? A mistake or two? Fix the kind of mistakes no one can trace to the fountain where we sold it and held them hanging.
That freaking slide guitar, that super lazy, I'm not even going to try and hit this on time these notes on time slide guitar just kind of like slithering and existing in the background. There's always something in all these songs I've noticed where the rest of the band feels like, you know what, we're putting together a fucking hello daddy, what up crack baby. Hello. There's always something in all of these songs that root it down to the ground, right? Where nothing can ever be super refined about all of this music. There's always got to be something that's kind of like, I don't really give a fuck. It's so charming.
You think it's easy, but you're wrong.
Did I hear the Loathe album? Which one are you talking about? Are you talking about a Pavement album or are you talking about the band Loathe? What are we talking about, Crack Baby?
I am not one half of the problem. Zurich is stained, but it's not my fault.
The band Loathe? I haven't listened. I listened to like one or two tracks, like I think the singles they released off the new record. So I haven't had any time to sit with it yet. And I gotta be honest, compared to the album that preceded it that had a lot of Deftones vibes to it, I wasn't super into the new stuff that they had on this new album. I'm gonna have to is it out? Because if it's out, I'm gonna definitely go and give it a shot. Because I like Loath's other stuff. I just haven't heard. It's out? Okay, cool. I'll definitely probably give it a listen today. I got a drive ahead of me because I have a shoot tomorrow. So I'll probably sit and listen to it today. Since Friday, fucking rad. Thanks for letting me know. Hope you're having a good morning.
Just hold me back or let me run. You think it's easy, but you're wrong. I am not one half of the problem. Zurich is stained, but it's not my fault. Just hold me back or let me run.
That was a good tune. Not a bad tune yet. Where's this going? This sounds like just a bunch of dudes fucking off. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Do you think that was because you could hear that in the background, that guitar, it almost sounded like a lot of those grunge punk tunes from the early 90s. Do you think that was them taking the piss out of that kind of music? Because that's a throwaway song, obviously. To me, that feels like them kind of taking a stab and a dig at the popular music of the time. Because that doesn't feel like it's a real fucking song. That really feels like someone just fucking off. All right, we passed the halfway point to the album, guys. Oh, Jesus. Every album's got to have something, right? when I am a pet snake and my owner's worried I'm not shedding. The guitars are doing really interesting things. Like there's different tones. Like the guitar that's in this channel, the right channel, is for the most part has been really distorted and fuzzy, where the one in the left channel has been a little cleaner for the most part, and not really run through a lot of distortion at all. It's made a very interesting dynamic, and I know the bass is providing a lot of that tonality here, but it's definitely a cleaner sounding guitar than this one that's been kind of way back in the mix. It's been an interesting mix how they've decided to put the guitars in the background where the drums and the bass are what are prominent. Yeah, absolutely, right? They are absolutely taking like cues from rock and roll. Like, while they obviously are taking the piss out of it in a lot of ways, they obviously are also trying to put their slant. I'm looking at the fucking word. That's why it came out of my mouth. They're putting their own identity to it. And because you could hear like in that guitar solo, that's like, you've heard that guitar solo in the past, but you haven't heard it like this before. Lots of Velvet Underground in this. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Just, it does sound like a bunch of people just kind of banging on instruments and making interesting sounds. It's cool. I kind of want the vocals up in the mix a little bit. They're kind of buried right now. This is pretty shoegaze as well, man. They have all these hoot hoots and la las and doo doos in every one of these songs somewhere. That got really noisy there for a minute, didn't it? Cool fucking tune, dude. That's fucking beautiful. That's fucking wonderful. Oh, fuck it. I'm going back to the beginning.
I was dressed
This is the prom song, obviously.
Success it never comes, and I'm the only one who laughs at your jokes when they are so bad, and your jokes are always bad.
That's how that's how Ken's always feels. When we're talking, we have a lot of laughs, and she's funny. She's really fucking funny and doesn't have to try to be funny. And she's always kind of like, man, I just tell stupid jokes. I'm like, dude, no, you're funny. I know some people whose jokes are always fucking bad. Oh, yeah. Oh, big time, dude. Omar, you're nailing it, dude. There's a lot of Lou Reed and Velvet Underground in this.
But they're not as bad as this. Come join us in a prayer. We'll be waiting where everything's ending here.
This is definitely straight up fucking like ballady, emo, alt rock, right? This is a great song. This is by far probably the most accessible thing on the album so far. We're 9 songs into a 14-song album, and I would probably say this would be the song that, you know, all the teenage boys and girls wanted to sit and sway and dance close at the junior high school prom to.
And all the sterile striking it defends an empty dock you cast away.
And the vocals very hooky, man.
And rain upon the forehead where the mists are higher if it's just too clear. Let's spend our last quarter stance randomly. Go down to the outlet once again. Painting portraits of minions and slaves, crotch mavens in one-night plays.
Crotch mavens.
They're the only ones who laugh.
This would put you to sleep, Cariosa? Oh, this is my shit, dude. I love this. This is a really good vibe. I like how just kind of warm the sound of those clean guitars are.
But they're the only ones who laugh at the jokes when they are
Yeah, me
so
too, Beats.
bad. And the jokes, they're always bad. But they're not as bad as this. Come join us in a prayer. We'll be waiting where everything's ending here.
Oh, it's so fucking good, dude. This was something we had commented about on Crooked Rain, was that Pavement loves to subvert when it comes to where you expect things to go. Like, that's obviously kind of like the chorus of the song, right? And on Crooked Rain, every song ended in a way that you didn't think was going to be the ending. Like, you had expected it a moment prior, or maybe it was going to resolve a different way, but it always ended on kind of like a gotcha. Pavement loves to do that, man. That's really fucking cool. And that's a Pixies kind of thing, right?
And all the Spanish candles they sold away have gone to this. And a run on piece of mountain travel shivers runs down the freeway. I guess she spent her last quarter randomly. We guess
This guitar's farting to an abrupt stop. Whoop. Oh, some distortion. Really weird mix, man. You hear that distorted guitar in the background very faintly? Yeah, that beats that whole thing with the guitars just playing imperfectly. It just makes me think of young kids picking up a guitar that haven't really refined their craft, right? But they're going to play anyway. And I fucking love it. It becomes a sound in and of itself. There's a lot of charm in that.
Last time, best time.
That song was great. Well, they were definitely going more for a vibe, right? So keeping it simple and I don't mean this in a negative way, and keeping it kind of monotonous where it was kind of drony, really created a vibe and let those vocals that were really hooky sing, right? So that's really cool. Really cool. Let's start this one over again. Two States. This goes out to the rest of the Americans that are sitting in my chat right now. For most of my life, and I mean, obviously this goes back to like the Civil War days, right? There's always been this, North versus South kind of divide of our country. Do you guys feel that it's more now like the coasts versus the interior than it is North versus South now in our country, where the ideologies, it feels like most of the progressive people now live on the coasts, and everybody else that wants are part of this conservative movement are located like in Central America now, North America, I mean, or in the United States. Just feels like that whole idea of the North versus South just doesn't feel like it's much of a thing anymore. I think it's a mixture of both now. I mean, because there's obviously, like, where I'm at in the Midwest is far more, I mean, it's rural, and there's still a lot of, it's a pretty red state, but surrounding it with, Illinois and Minnesota and Michigan, and there are parts like Madison, obviously here in Wisconsin and Milwaukee, are far more blue than right leaning. But it's like traditionally most blue states are all along the coast, and then the Midwest, and everything else is just like, well, yeah, well, Florida, like Texas, they're kind of really their own thing. That's because a lot of the boomers and a lot of the right wingers go to Florida when they're older to get away from the weather, right? That's kind of like their destination point. So that's kind of why it's conservative as fuck. Arizona's very similar in that respect. North Carolina, the Carolinas, as far as I have a buddy that lives there, and my partner has family that live there. And I've never spent any time there. I've driven through, but I've never spent any time there, so I can't really comment from my perspective. But from what I've been told, they're fairly right-leaning states. North Carolina is more progressive from what you hear. Okay. Oh, yeah. I bet. That song really didn't do it for me. Where are we at on the record here? Okay, we got 4 tracks left. Perfume-V. That was the first song where I kind of was just like, meh, okay. I mean, Chelsea's Little Wrists obviously was a throwaway song. That's just like a fuck you. Let's turn on the recorder, just bang shit song. So you can't really take that one very seriously. Perfume-V. Let's start this one over. This very Pixies. Very Pixies.
She shivered like a vase lashed bright and she's got the radioactive and it makes me feel okay. I don't feel okay. She's got the radioactive and it makes me feel okay. I don't feel okay. Grip force the vials and strip the locks. Smash your set and slash the beds, and when it looks like a wise X plot, we'll cover all the rugs with cheap perfume. She's got the radioactive and it makes me feel okay. I don't feel okay. She's got the radioactive and it makes me feel okay.
I feel like this section here, if the drums weren't so dry, because man, when he's hitting that, there's like no snap to that snare. It's almost like he has the actual snare turned off and he's just hitting that snare without the snares on the bottom turned on. It kind of has a little bit of a My Bloody Valentine vibe to it.
I don't feel okay.
I like that doubled vocal. That's really cool. What is it? It's not a, okay, so what I mean by that, Cariosa, is that on a snare drum, which is primarily the drum that you hear that cuts through, there are metal wires that run along the bottom that when you hit it, they snap back, that give it a more percussive sound and there's a lot more top end. So that's traditionally a sound of a snare drum. But when we say a dry drum, what we mean is that traditionally in rock music, most drums have like a little bit of echo and a little bit of reverb on them. So they sound like there's decay to every hit. They just sound bigger that way. And when they're dry, it means it's just a mic put onto a drum in which it's not hearing the room along with the drum, where sometimes when you mic up drums, you put like an XY shotgun pattern over top of them. And you not only are getting the direct sound from the drums, you're also getting the reflections and reverberations of the sound in the room, which make the drums sound bigger. Where if you're doing it dry, you're trying to limit those reflections and just get the direct sound of that drum, and it has a completely different sound. It doesn't sound as big. It sounds almost, well, it sounds dry. Wetness usually in terms of sound means reverb. There's no processing, no reverb. It's just like a direct line. And if you sat and listened to the difference between drums that have a room sound to them or drums that are directly mic'd and you're trying to negate that sound, it's a tremendously huge difference in sound. It is hard to explain unless you were to like show examples. It's really, just think of this. The term reverb means we hear things because of the spatial quality of the sound waves reflecting off of the surfaces that are around us. And the bigger the room is, the more those reflections echo back to us at different times. So it's like if you're sitting in a room like my living room, it's going to sound different than if you go into like a gym and you try and do the same thing, or you yell into a canyon, or you yell into like a cave, right? The sounds that you're hearing, the delayed sounds, are the reflections of that sound hitting a surface and then reaching your ear at a delayed time. So that's what reverb, when anybody refers to that, the wetness is the delayed time between the direct hit, it reflecting off of something back, and then coming back to you. Does that make any sense? I hope that makes any sense. Oh, absolutely. Totally. That's kind of, yes. Yes. Thank you, Beats. That's a far better way to put it. My coffee I don't have any coffee. I feel inadequate. This is a great tune. I like this one. I liked that tune. That tune reminded me more of shoegaze. It kind of had that that feel of, what was that band we listened to, Omar? It's not Jesus and the Mary Chain, is it? Yeah, Jesus and the Mary Chain, that Psycho Candy album. There was a lot of that in there. That was cool. My husband tries to teach me shit about guitar sometimes, and I'm just like, wow, amazing. Trust me, I get that all the time. All right, we got a couple tracks left. Let's hear it. That was a good one. Throwa.
You sold us out and took it all.
There's something very kind of folky and Bob Dylan-y about some of these songs where he's just kind of talking through things and telling a story, which you wouldn't think of when you would think this kind of music. But, you know, everything impresses on us, and it comes out in ways that you don't expect, right?
Throwa, pass out the gold. The diamond watch, the last reward. All the things we hid before. You sold us out and took it all. Headborn cries from zenith sluts. Ass rights from dead-end ruts. And these ends are sick and was. And these ends were sick and was.
Was. What is that sound that's going woo wee wee wee? Is that electronic or what is that?
And these ends are sick and was. And these ends were sick and was.
I think you're right. I think it's kind of one of those pedal. He's like fucking with a pedal, right? Yeah, totally. Totally. Listen to that. Listen to that fucking delivery of those lines. It's like a falsetto, but done by a jackass.
These ads were sick and was.
Is a really cool riff. Just everything about it. There's like buried shalalas in the background in the left channel. It's really buried, but it's there.
How can you know? In the distance lies a grower named Rudolph, King Fame Throwa, son of groupie, bed-worn Saxon. Spent his cash convincing us that the desert was a starscape. Took our lives for satellites so we could cry naked, naked, foul. He's one of our nation's spies. He's one of our first recruits. I click with a leather thighs. One of my first recruits.
Wait, what? We still got a minute left? Wait, what the fuck? I want to hear that again. That was awesome. I'm just gonna from now on call it the fucking Pavement. The Pavement ending, where Pavement just they want you to think they're ending the song, but fuck no, we determine when the song ends. And you're not gonna like it. There's an awful lot of fade outs on this album. That definitely wasn't the case with Crooked Rain, Crooked Rain. And what I was making reference to before, Beats, was on Crooked Rain, Crooked Rain, every song would end in a way that it didn't feel like a resolve. It felt like it was still going. And that ending, right, or that like fake ending with the punk part, which was fucking awesome, which made me want a punk tune, felt like all those endings on Crooked Rain. If you really like this album, Beats, please, I implore you to go listen to the second album, Crooked Rain. It is one of my, literally one of my favorite things that I've heard in some time. It is so good. That was a great song, man. That's a really weird effect that they have on that guitar. There's times where it sounds like there's keyboards, but I don't think there's any keyboards on any of this. I think they're just really tossing their guitars through a lot of effects. And that there's something that's going on in the background that's super processed. That's a really cool sound. I like how the guitars are mirroring like the clean guitar and the bass, or I don't know if it's the bass. It might just be the second guitar is mirroring the vocals in a weird way. Like just put your listening ears on and listen to this. It's easy to miss it because there's so much like wall of sound shitting happening in the background that it's that little clean guitar line that the rhythm is mirroring the vocals is very easy to miss. Very interesting. That it just kind of harkened me back to like a more surfy kind of sound there with the guitar. There's a band called the Ravenettes, if you've never heard them, which play this kind of like throwback surf 50s Beach Boys, but mixed through the prism of like Jesus and the Mary Chain. That guitar sound sounded exactly like something that they would play. I loved that. No shit, right, Cariosa? And that's some of the kickback on that music by a lot of people, I think. I know when we listened to Psycho Candy, wasn't that part of the write-up that a lot of people had a tough time with that music because of the abrasive nature of the fact that there wasn't a lot of low end and it was a lot of high end. Yeah, I bet you on shitty headphones. Like, go to fucking Five Below and pick up some headphones, or the Dollar Tree. Pick up some headphones and try and listen to this. You'll hate your fucking life. There's so many cool sounds happening. I'm trying to picture what that sound is that sounds like something trampling in the back. It almost sounds like it's thunder, but it's not thunder. It sounds like somebody stripped the dry sound or the direct sound out of them hitting something against the ground, and you were only getting the echoes back. Hey, what's going on, Mark? Welcome in, dude. How you doing this morning, my friend? Oh, that's really cool. Even in the recording, listen to those drums. It sounds like the tape's giving out, like they're recording it on imperfect tape, and there's warbles in it. Listen to that. Listen to those drums. Yeah, that's fucking cool. That was a really cool fucking song, dude. That was I think we're up to the last song of the album, Our Singer. What a great record, dude. Again, 2 for 2 Pavement is just banger records. This definitely was a little more abrasive than the other record we listened to. But for me, Pavement's just like perfect imperfection. It's just allowing things to sound unique through just letting them be what they are. And that's really fucking cool to me. I'll be listening to this record again too. This is like the fucking summer of Pavement for me. I'm just gonna be listening to Pavement nonstop. Like right there, did you hear that? Like the drums fucked up.
I've been waiting, anticipating. Sun comes up, the skies won't sink my soul.
And the microphone he's singing on almost sounds like one of those really shitty microphones where you have to be almost swallowing it for it to even hear you. So if you're like this far away, it's not really picking you up until you get closer. So it sounds like the proximity of his voice to the mic is changing as he's going back to play and then coming back up. Where in a lot of music, they would probably compress that sound so that it all sounded the same. Nope. It almost sounds like a live recording. That's fucking cool, dude.
Skies won't sink my soul. I've dreamt of this, but it never comes. But it never comes. On the horizon, the nature's dry. Fo!
And it also just sounds like it's guitar. It's like singer guitar and drums, no bass, and no other guitar.
I've been dreaming, traced out but dreaming. The sun comes up, the blisters burn my soul. I'm dreaming of something now, of something now. On the horizon, the nature's dry, and all the groovy ones.
And then the tape just cuts out. Fuck, dude. What an interesting way to end the album. That sounded like a demo. Literally sounded like a demo. Ah, man. 2 for 2. Pavement are fucking awesome, dude. That album was a little less refined than the next one. Crooked Rain, but I loved it all the same. This actually was far more noisy and punky, and reminded me of stuff like Jesus and the Mary Chain, the Pixies, Velvet Underground, like we had talked about. A lot of cool textures, same kind of slackery delivery. There were only really a couple tracks that I wasn't like. Two States was kind of blah. Chelsea's little wrists, total just like dudes fucking off song, so it doesn't really count. I don't remember No Life Singer. Why didn't I star that? Did I just forget to? I don't remember, but I'm going to give this a solid fucking 8 out of 10. For sure. Solid 8 out of 10 on this one. This one is in the library. I'm listening to it again. Yeah, that was a really good fucking record, dudes. Solid. I can't wait to listen to more Pavement. We're going to put more Pavement on the fucking randomizer wheel today. We're going to have to look up after. We're not going to put it on here yet. Hold on. Let me delete this, because I don't want us to. We'll put it on after this next choice, but let's look at we're going to keep going through the Pavement discography. So these two albums, Crooked Rain and Slanted Enchanted, fucking solid shit, dudes. Fucking solid shit. See, we're going to have to navigate all of these special edition versions. Bright in the Corners. We'll put Bright in the Corners on next, and that was made in 1997. We'll definitely put that one on next to hear.